First off, thanks a bunch to everyone who gave me insight into the problems of this magnetic dude. Big shout out to all of you. In the world of Identity 5, there's one survivor that fans can't get enough of. He's powerful, easy to use, and, let's be honest, pretty hot. Imagine Leonardo DiCaprio, but in the game. And you've got Norton Campbell, the prospector everyone loves. Whether you're kiting hunters, rescuing teammates, or just want to peacefully decode, Norton has to be the first choice for many fans. Norton's a blast to play, no doubt about it. But let's be real for a second. Whoever said he's easy to use is either really pro at using him or must have been really drunk. My first time playing him was a disaster. I messed up so many magnets that even the hunter started feeling sorry for me. After sending 2 of my teammates off, the hunter just gave me this pitying look and went into friendly mode. For me, those magnets might as well have been boomerangs with how often they backfired. And if you think I made that up, go check this one particular video with the Bloody Queen. Also, let's face it, we've all been there, either as a victim or accidentally becoming the culprit ourselves, with Norton Campbell generously sending his teammates straight into the hunter's waiting arms, offering up free snacks that even Pizza Hut wouldn't dare to match. So, in this scenario, Norton's genuinely kinder than Pizza Hut. So, next up, let's dive into this character who's adored by so many fans. His abilities, strengths, weaknesses, and of course, the problems of every Prospector main. Stay tuned, folks! Norton Campbell arrived at the manor with a handy skill set. Magnets, outdoor skills, disruption, and attraction. Let's break them down one by one, starting with his magnet. Many fans know that Norton is excellent at containment, using his magnets to keep hunters at bay, or, more often, to harass them into frustration, pushing them to hit the surrender button. At least, that's what I've seen from the Prospector mains who really know their stuff. Yeah, thanks to his magnet ability, many survivors' ranks have skyrocketed, making Norton a top favorite in the game. The proof? Just look at the number of skins he has, like 31 skins in total, with more than one S skin. Just a quick intermezzo. In IDV, the easiest way to spot a popular character is by counting their skins, and Norton's wardrobe is practically bursting. Now, let's go back to the magnet ability. How's that magnet work, you ask? Well, his magnet operates just like real-life magnets with dual polarity. You've got your North Pole and South Pole action going on. If they're the same polarity, they'll push apart like 2 stubborn magnets. But if they're different, they'll pull towards each other faster than magnets on a fridge door. One of Norton's favorite tricks is using his magnet's polarity to push hunters away when they get too close, making their lives downright miserable, especially if they were pushed back and hit their heads into the wall. Some hunters like the Feaster, Wu Chang, and the Clerk can counter him effectively, and let's not forget the Wax Artist, who's basically a natural predator for every harasser main. But even with these counters, Norton is still the ultimate annoyance for hunters. Many struggle to chase down this one guy with an obsessive love for magnets, with some of them even directly surrendering. And just like real-life magnets, Norton's magnet can also pull him right into the hunter's grasp, when he has different polarities set between him and the hunter. Wouldn't that make him vulnerable to a hit? Well, yes, if the Norton player doesn't know what they're doing, but seasoned Norton users can masterfully use this to their advantage, pulling themselves and the hunter into a wall and leaving the hunter with a headache from the impact. As I said, Norton can harass the hunter into sheer frustration, maybe even making them want to quit the game altogether. In this game, his magnet works like a mine in a minefield, not like a Mills bomb on a training ground. The magnet can be thrown into the ground, waiting to be activated when somebody steps on it. This gives Norton a huge advantage compared to other harassers like Ganji or Muro, because he just has to throw the magnet on the ground instead of doing a precise aim. What's even better is that the magnet has unlimited uses, unlike other harassers whose tools can break. Plus, not only can hunters step on his magnet, but fellow survivors can also use it. So, if they need to move quickly, they just pick up the magnet and get pulled to Norton. As for the stats on this ability, well, check out these juicy details I swiped straight from the game. Now let's talk about another ability Norton has. If you've never played as Norton, you might not know that he moves faster when he's near the cipher machine or lockers, thanks to his skill called Affection. Supposedly, this turns him into a magnet, speeding him up near iron. Well, at least that's what the description says, but in reality, this skill makes me wonder. Like, for example, there's this unused battle tank in the arms factory, but why does he not move faster near that junk? And what about the roller coaster in the Moonlit River Park? Why doesn't he move faster there too? Is that roller coaster made of plastic or what? This skill seems kinda BS when you really think about it. Well, just kidding. That ability is actually pretty useful, especially if you're in a pinch. It gives Norton a 50% speed boost for 2 seconds whenever he's near a cipher machine or locker, which is pretty nifty, assuming he knows how to kite, of course. And thanks to his other skill called Outdoor Skills, which claims Norton is a battle-hardened veteran of his own war, he heals 10% faster than your average survivor. So, picture this. You're playing as Norton, rocking the healing, doctor, and shelter personas. How fast do you think your healing time would be? Pretty quick, right? And to top it off, you team up with a doctor. You'd be so patched up that when you call an ambulance, it shows up to find you casually sipping tea with the paramedics, discussing the best way to ship Norton and Mike all together. His only downside, perhaps, is that skill called Disruption. With that debuff, it's tougher for him to decode a cipher machine because the calibration difficulty is increased. But you know what? That's actually a blessing in disguise for everyone keen on decoding, because with more calibrations, his decoding time is faster when he nails every single one perfectly. With all those skills, it's no wonder Norton is basically the meta-kiter in this game. So, why title a video, The Problem with Norton? Well, even with his amazing set of skills, he's like that fancy sports car you borrow but have no clue how to drive. Sometimes he's problematic and full of issues. You still see some Norton mains stumbling here and there, especially in the hands of clueless players. So, what exactly are those problems? Let's buckle up and find out. You know, among all the organs that humans have, the brain is the one that amazes me the most. Even when we're sleeping, the brain keeps working. Yeah, it works 24 hours a day non-stop. I wish I could say that's always true, but there's a time when the human brain actually stops, and that is when a clueless player uses Norton Campbell. Meeting a clueless Norton Campbell can make you wonder if you're playing IDV or watching a comedy, because these prospectors are constantly making comedy, minus the laughs, especially in rank matches. These clueless Nortons always find a way to mess things up. They're terrible at throwing magnets, they fail to understand polarities, and the only thing they seem to excel at is throwing their teammates into the hunter. This usually makes their teammates eager to give them a nice slap in the face. Let's start with the magnet. As useful as it is, it can be quite problematic when used incorrectly. The simplest mistake? Throwing the magnet in the wrong direction. People often complain that these Nortons can't aim properly because it's so easy to throw magnets with him. Yeah, it's easy once you've mastered it, but getting started with him is another matter, you know? The hunter keeps moving while you're aiming, and before you know it, the hunter is right in front of you, before you can even throw that magnet. Another headache you'll see from these prospectors is when they put the wrong polarity between themselves and the hunter. So, you want to push the hunter away to avoid getting knocked out, but you forget to set the polarity of your magnet. When that happens, instead of pushing the hunter away, you end up inviting them for dinner, with you as the main course. A similar situation could happen the other way around. You see your teammate running for their life, desperately calling for help. As the mighty Norton Campbell, you rush to the rescue. You intend to pull the hunter towards you to get them away from the survivor, but because of the wrong polarity, you end up pushing the hunter right into your teammate instead. Now, your teammate is even more eager to give you a slap in the face. However, not all of Norton's problems with his magnet are his fault. Some clueless or jackass survivors often wander into the spot where Norton throws his magnet, making it useless. Like, Norton wants to harass the hunter by making them step on the magnet, but then some enchantress just casually strolls into it like she's heading to a shopping mall. Well, that's the problem with his magnet. But honestly, the issues with this prospector don't end there. Remember how he can stun the hunter with his magnet? That's right. Along with many others, Norton Campbell is actually a special breed of kiter called a harasser. And, just like any other harasser, he can be a little too cocky. I don't know if you all realize it or not, but being a harasser can sometimes lead to developing harasser syndrome, where you feel the need to harass the hunter as soon as the match begins. This syndrome makes you constantly want to locate the hunter ASAP and pull off some cool moves to make their life miserable. I know how it feels because I kinda have it myself whenever I play as the little girl. I teleport to those being chased and start placing paper memories to mess with the hunter. The same thing goes with Chi-Chi, Enchantress, and of course, this one guy who loves magnets more than anything. When Norton has this syndrome, they'll head straight for the hunter, forgetting important stuff like decoding or healing. All they can think about is giving the hunter a bad day. They don't care if there's already an enchantress farming cursed stacks and making the hunter's life miserable. This Norton will come and join the party, leaving a sole survivor to work on the cipher machines. When the gate opens, this Norton won't just escape. They'll line up magnet in front of the gate that it's like they're setting up a magnetic barrier. It's their way of saying, "Oh, you thought I was leaving? How about a final gift before I go?" Though I wouldn't say that the harasser syndrome Norton, and any other harasser for that matter has, is entirely a bad thing. For instance, harasser syndrome can be crucial during a rescue, especially when someone is still in the balloon. This way, the hunter gets disrupted, and the survivor can be saved before reaching the chair. The problem arises when the harasser only wants to harass the hunter without any real intention of rescuing. In this particular case, Norton will rush to the balloon survivor, throw a magnet, and pull or push the hunter into a wall, rock, or anything else, allowing the survivor to escape. But that's where Norton stops. He won't even bother to body block, so as soon as the survivor is freed, the hunter just slaps them down again. This not only stresses out the hunter, but also frustrates the downed survivor. I bet they would wish anyone but this magnet-wielding predator had come to their rescue. Also, despite this predatory behavior, some Norton mains lack the necessary skills and end up as cannon fodder. When their team loses, they start blaming the rescuers for not saving them, or the decoders for not working fast enough. This usually earns them some harsh replies like, "Bitch, you can only kite for 10 seconds yourself," and so on. So, yeah, no matter how good Norton mains are, if they have a harasser syndrome, they tend to become a joke. Lastly, some Norton mains, especially those wearing Mr. Moleskins, tend to be hardcore shippers. All they do is ship one character with another. For instance, when they see Mary with Michiko in a poster, they ship them. Tracy and Naib in school uniforms? Ship. Emma and Emily flying together? Ship. More importantly, they often ship themselves with the acrobat. So, if you're an acrobat main, beware. If you encounter a Norton with that skin, you might want to be cautious or switch to Muro, because Norton mains ship him the least. But why acrobat, you ask? Well, to answer, try Google. Mr. Mole finds acrobat alone. There are a few more things I want to mention about Norton, like his arch enemies. White Wu Chang, Feaster, and the Clerk. But hey, I'm sure most Norton mains already know about those matchups. So, there you have it, folks. The quirks and challenges of playing Norton Campbell. Remember, this is all in good fun, not meant to offend anyone. Feel free to share your thoughts or additional insights about this magnetic dude. Thanks for joining in, everyone!